Hi everyone, and wherever you are, thank you for joining us for this live stream launch of IOSH's manifesto for the UK's 2024 general election. My name's Stuart Hughes and I'm proud to be IOSH President in what is a landmark election year. Globally, there are lots of countries that are going to the elections, but we're going to focus on the UK in this session. And IOSH, the Institution of Occupational Safety and Health, is based in the UK, but our over 50,000 members are spread across 130 countries globally. IOSH is the voice for occupational safety and health professionals, and we're working with global bodies such as the UN and the Commonwealth to provide expert analysis, to shape policy, and to raise awareness of occupational safety and health issues worldwide. And we support our members to make the world of work safer, healthier, and more productive. So you'll have seen Rishi in the rain outside number 10 calling for a general election. And for some time that we knew this was going to happen. We just didn't know when. But we've seen quite a lot of election posturing from the political parties well ahead of the call for the election. So when the call came, I think the conditions kind of, I suppose, resembled the kind of the storminess around the UK at the moment. And the country's now been asked to decide who it wants to be its new government and really what it wants from its new government. And the optics really seem to forecast that stormy nature of the upcoming election debate. There are high pressure prospects for an economy in need of a post-COVID cost of living crisis recovery. And that recovery is, I think, set to take centre stage. But there are other things that are impacting the UK currently and making their presence felt in the minds and feelings of voters. And that's across immigration, it's across the National Health Service, in terms of waiting lists, it's in terms of investment in public services, in housing provision and education. And that's to name just a few before we even get to big things like the climate crisis and our polluted rivers and seas. There's a lot going on in the UK. So what about health and safety? Well, what influence could it have in determining the course of the election, and how will political parties engage with the topic of health and safety to secure workers and others' votes? Well, the pollsters might not think that health and safety is an obvious vote winner, but it has a very clear impact on what is likely to be a very dominant issue in this general election, and that's the economy. Poor health and safety practices harms people, it harms communities, businesses, it impacts the NHS, and it impacts our economy. Put it simply, safe and healthy workplaces equal a safe and healthy economy. In 2022 to 23, 1.8 million people said they were suffering from work-related ill health. And around half of those were people reporting stress, depression, and anxiety. And that's an estimated 35.2 million working days that were lost in that year. And in 2021 to 22, workplace injuries and new cases of work-related ill health, including the growing burden of mental health, cost Britain £20.7 billion. And that's a 10% increase from 2019 to 2020. Also this year, our economic inactivity amongst the British working population has stood fast at 22%. And this is a time of unprecedented change for society and for workplaces. In a recent IOSH report towards a safe and healthy future of work, we set out the technological, social, and environmental changes that are transforming the way that we live and work. Throw in the widespread adoption of artificial intelligence, an aging workforce, and climate change, the stakes are high. And this brings both pressure and opportunities to make the world of work better. So there's huge potential. Just think how much we could all benefit from preventing harm by protecting and inspiring people through better working conditions and improved health and safety standards. If IOSH were a political party, which it most definitely isn't, Our campaign slogan might be this: safer, happier, and healthier to protect workers and rebuild the economy. I think that's got a really nice ring to it. And I think all of our members can align themselves to that in terms of the impact that our work has for the benefit of society. So what about IOSH? So as the chartered body that's representing occupational safety and health professionals, we asked our members what they think a new government should prioritise. And they identified the following headline issues: mental health at work, health and safety executive funding, making sure that it has the funds to be able to do its job properly, supporting future generations with the skills that they need to make a positive impact within the world of work, climate change and the related risks that has for the occupational safety and health profession and workers within their work environment, and also the impact of artificial intelligence on workers. In light of these findings, IOSH recognises as a vital chance for the new government to transform the UK workplaces for the better. So we call on the next government to take these 5 key actions. The first is to protect workers' rights to a safe, healthy, and decent work environment. We want the new government to make good the UK's international commitment to deliver a safe and healthy working environment as a basic right for all. And this must include gig workers and those in the supply chain. Decent work and economic growth go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. The second one is about expanding and strengthening the UK's world-leading system for harm prevention at work. We want the new government to back the health and safety executive to do its job and help businesses prevent harm by raising the funding and staffing to deliver better guidance, more inspections, and effective enforcement. The HSE's funding dropped from £228 million in 2010 to £185 million in 2022, and it reached an all-time low point in 2019 of £126 million. We need to invest in strong occupational health systems. We need to equip small and medium-sized enterprises to invest in prevention and early intervention around occupational health, including mental health. The third is for us to support businesses to tackle the new and emerging workplace hazards. We need to drive through laws and regulations that support businesses to make sure that new technologies, climate change, and the green transition don't harm workers. We need to ensure that gig workers can get compensation for workplace accidents and occupational diseases. We need to secure their right to good working conditions, a minimum wage, working time protection, and collective bargaining, including union representation. 85% of occupational safety and health professionals believe the government should protect the gig economy and zero-hour contract workers and address work intensification and working hours. The fourth is to promote a diverse, inclusive, skilled, and motivated workforce. We need to help deliver inclusive workplaces by mainstreaming diversity into occupational safety and health legislation, into national policies, and into strategies and workplace action. We need to give workers health and safety awareness, knowledge, and skills that they need to build positive, sustainable cultures that foster high productivity and support a successful economy. And we need to realise that a safe and healthy world of work is as much about feeling safe as it is about being physically safe. We need it to be where workers feel comfortable to be themselves. And the final one is about building a more robust and sustainable economy. We need to ensure that health and safety hazards and risks are addressed by reviewing and updating laws and regulations. 76% of occupational safety and health professionals would like to see legislation introduced to safeguard workers from the safety and health risks to workers associated with artificial intelligence. And we understand that investment in occupational safety and health will see returns in terms of increased productivity and business competitiveness by bringing down the cost of accidents and incidents at work and work-related ill health, to support worker engagement and their motivation. We need to put people at the heart of delivering the United Nations sustainability agenda alongside environmental and financial commitments. So whichever political party or parties get into government, we want them to make work good for everyone by empowering employers and workers to make people safer, healthier, and happier. We're calling for your backing as safety and health professionals and IOSH members to help us press for positive change. And over the next 5 weeks, we'll share with you ways that you can make an impact with your expertise, experience, and your votes. So let's hope for clearer skies and a high turnout of voters, and with an outcome that leads to a sunnier outlook for the UK economy and its workplaces. Thank you very much for listening to us today. I hope that you found it informative, useful, and keep an eye on the things that are going to come over the next 5 weeks so that you can utilise your skills and expertise to make an impact at this important time.